Greetings everyone, welcome to yet another content from Throttle Alpha. Today we are taking a look at the KYT NX Race helmet, and this is one of the first international reviews for this helmet. Now the KYT NX Race is a GP class helmet and it's used stock in FIM or ARRC oriented racing. Now the KYT NX Race comes in two types of shells. We have both of them. This is a tri-composite shell for the NX Race and this is the full carbon variant for the NX Race. Now the tri-composite shell is basically composed of three types of materials: carbon, Kevlar and fiberglass. It's a mixture of all of these components which results to a heavier variant, but these two helmets are the lightest in their class. Like in this budget or in this class, they are the lightest. The tri-composite weighs around 1300 grams and the carbon weighs around 1200 grams. And definitely the carbon does feel 100 grams or 150 grams, near about that range, lighter. The shell was basically designed for racing oriented purposes and they're very durable and reliable because they come from manufacturers like KYT who are really promising. Now if I'm to talk about the EPS construction of this helmet, this has a dual density EPS construction which helps in both low speed crashes and high speed crashes. Like if you crash in a lower speed, this has an inner construction which is softer and that absorbs lower speed impact. And this has a higher or an upper EPS construction which takes harder impacts like the ones you make in high speeds. Now I did ride this helmet and I did test it out in multiple weather conditions, and since I am personally interested in this helmet as well, I had to give a good shot with this particular unit, the carbon. And I can say this, that for a racing helmet it feels very light, and I also had the opportunity to test the anti-fog inserts present with it since I did have the opportunity to ride it in rainy conditions. So I think as an overall construction, this helmet did do a very good job. And in the current KYT lineup that we have locally, like all the helmets that KYT has to provide, I think this would be my favorite helmet. Now the first thing I would like to mention in terms of certifications and durability, it's an EC certified helmet for our region and the shell looks and feels very durable. And it's designed and developed in Italy where KYT manufactures millions of helmets each year. So there's no question about the durability or the reliability for this helmet. Second factor I would like to talk about this helmet is the aerodynamics. Now in this price range, this is the most aerodynamic helmet. It has a drag coefficient of 0.47, which is the most effective in this class. There is a bit of aeronautical engineering and aerodynamic theories applied in this helmet, or there is a bit of R&D because this helmet is wind tunnel tested, and even in personal experiences in high speed conditions, the helmet feels more lighter as you're riding faster. The benefit with wind tunnel tested helmet is such so that you don't feel any head push when you're riding fast, and these helmets are not prone to any sort of wind blast. So yes, this is the most aerodynamic helmet in this budget range. And coming to the third factor, the airflow. This helmet consists of 5 ventilation channels and this is also the highest in its class. Now, provided this is a racing helmet, it is a bit noisy in city cruising conditions because you have very large air intakes present with the helmet. Especially with the forehead vent open, this helmet might get a bit noisy, but it is not a problem because most racing helmets are a bit noisy. So it's serving its purpose, so that's not a major thing to take into account of. But with the airflow, I think the top vents are very effective because when I was riding from mid-rev to high-rev situations, the top vents especially felt very active. And in terms of cooling too, this helmet is a very cool helmet. The thermal resistance is very good for the NX Race. And since you have aerodynamics working with this factor too, the front vent along with the forehead vent draws a lot of air through the front area, and then the exhausting or the hot air is drawn. The top vents also help the helmet to draw the hot air out via the rear vents. So I think the exhausting is really good for this helmet, which allows it to have a very good thermal resistance. resistant. So hats off with the airflow, and especially with the forehead vent open, this helmet feels very cool. And coming to the next factor, the visor. This visor is the improvisation or the same visor used in one of Suomy's flagship helmet, the SRGP. Yes, this is the same optical class 1 visor which has excellent vertical view. In terms of tucked in conditions, this visor allows for very good vertical view in the upper area of the visor, which in terms of the racing aspect is a very good thing. And this is one of the clearest visors in its class, and this has zero distortion. I would put it this way, that in terms of even riding in the rain, the anti-fog inserts worked very well. It wasn't getting foggy at all. The clarity is very good. Even though I rode from a rainy to a sunny transition, the visor didn't feel any less in visibility. And there's a visor locking mechanism or a visor locking portal available at the bottom area. So I think this is a very good addition to completely clip the visor with the body so there's no gap remaining. So these small aspects really impacts a lot with the construction of this helmet. Now coming to the internals for the KYT NX Race, I have to put it this way, that this consists of one of the best padding in this budget range. Whatever is coming up for this helmet is priced in such a point where the R&D and the development for this helmet has been very top notch. The padding has a very smooth hand texture and it's a very quality padding. It also has some leather or semi-leather textures added along with the padding design. So the design factor for the padding is also top notch. The padding along with this texture is designed in such a way that it won't compress. So the padding that you're buying initially, the padding for a very long time will remain in the same outlay or in the same form as long as you wear it. And the padding wicks sweat very easily. So it's a very accessible padding in terms of day-to-day riding. I personally wanted to get this helmet and I'm probably getting one for my daily use. Now at first I thought that this is a racing helmet, the internals or the interior might not be very comfortable for day-to-day riding. But trust me, this helmet did not fail to impress me, because the padding along with the airflow and all the R&D applied at the exterior is really impressive for intercity and highway riding both. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to use it for my everyday commute. There's an open cell sponge system technology added with the padding too, that allows air to be drawn inside the padding through very microscopic holes that are designed in the texture or the layering of the padding. And alongside the body or the module of the helmet, KYT R&D, they thought a lot about internal thermal resistance, I believe. They left a bit of space open via the side of the paddings or via the gaps of this padding, which allows the air to be drawn in every gap or every internal sections of this helmet as much as possible. So I think the open cell technology along with the body design done in this way that allows a lot of air to be drawn is a very good thinking for day-to-day riding, especially in a hot and humid country as ours. And also in terms of long ride comfort, this padding does not compromise at all. You also get a double D ring included with this helmet. So a double D ring is also a very good addition with such helmets. Helmet is also glass ready, like you can access your glasses very easily. If you're a regular glass wearer or a sunglass wearer, it's very accessible for wearing glass with this helmet. And one more thing about the internals is that you have emergency padding release for this helmet, and this is a very good addition. Like in case of serious head or neck injuries, you don't have to remove the helmet out quickly or that can further damage your injuries. So you can remove the padding all at once with the emergency padding release. And this helmet is also intercom ready, and since KYT was missing out a lot of helmets which did not have a dedicated communicator pocket, this helmet really delivers in the daily commute situation where it supports the dedicated pockets for communicators. So hats off with this inclusion in a racing helmet. One con with this helmet would be that this does not have an integrated sun visor. That's a factor that was really missing out. Otherwise, I think the external and the internals are made in such a way that this helmet does not compromise in racing situation as well as highway or commute situations too. So this was our take with the KYT NX Race helmet. I think this helmet really delivers a lot, and I would personally also come up using this helmet because I think that this helmet really delivers in a few aspects I really look for. One, good ventilation, good viewing angles, and aerodynamics. All necessary information for the NX Race is mentioned in the description box below. Do check it out. We will also mention the graphics and pricing details for this helmet there. Do follow us on Instagram because we have a lot of cool pictures present there, and follow us on Facebook too. We'll come up with another review very soon. Till then, stay subscribed and take care. Thank you.